Already we have taken the definition of fiber or manufacturing, about the introduction of manufacturing of fiber. Like fibers, monomers are converted into polymers and polymers are converted into fibers. Conversion of monomers, polymers and fibers happens naturally for natural fibers. Conversion of monomers into polymers happens in nature for natural polymer based fiber, that is regenerated or semi-synthetic fibers. And synthesis of monomers, then conversion of monomers into polymers and conversion of polymers into fibers or filaments, that is done for synthetic fibers by man, and that's why this is known as man-made or synthetic fibers. So here we will take the definitions of this monomer and polymer. Monomer, mono means one and mer is unit. So monomer means the basic unit of the textile fiber, that is a molecule, also known as sorry for interruption. Some noise is coming, so we cause disturbance to you. The basic unit of the textile fiber is a molecule, also known as monomer. Many of these basic units, means many of these monomers, are connected to form long chains, and they are connected by some type of bonds, which are called polymer. Means when these monomers are joined together, number of monomers are joined together and forming a long chain, this long chain molecule is known as polymer. Poly means many and mer means unit. So many units, many monomer units joined together is known as polymer. The process of chemically joining monomers to form polymer is called polymerization. The process by which these monomers are joined together and form a polymer, that process is known as polymerization. And the length of such chains, means how many number of monomers joined together, is referred as the degree of polymerization. And this degree of polymerization is an important term as far as textile fibers are concerned, because many of the properties of textile fibers depends on degree of polymerization. And in brief, we call it DP. D for degree and P for polymerization. So degree of polymerization. And you can define it. It is a number of units, number of monomer units joined together to form a polymer, that is known as degree of polymerization. The degree of polymerization of natural fibers are determined by nature, because nature itself is producing it into the fiber form. So monomers are joining and forming polymers, polymers are joining and forming fibers. So the number of monomers joined together to form the polymer, that is degree of polymerization, is decided by nature. For example, cotton has a degree of polymerization about 5,000. What does it mean 5,000? Number of basic units, and the basic unit for cotton is cellubiose. So it means 5,000 cellubiose units are joined in a chain, or the length of the polymer of the cotton, you can say that is 5,000. The degree of polymerization of all man-made fiber is determined during the production of these fibers. So we can control the DP of man-made fibers. It can be controlled, it can be decided during the process of polymerization. Here are the types of polymers. There are mainly three types. Simply polymer means it is formed from same monomers, which is shown here in the diagram. We have taken three shapes for monomer to indicate monomer, either by triangle or by small rectangle or by big rectangle. So we are taking three different monomers here. We are indicating monomers by these three shapes, means three different monomers. So here you can see only one type of shape is given here. It means one type of monomer are joined in a long chain. So it is formed from same monomers. If one type of monomers are joined in a long chain, it is simply called polymer. Then copolymer, if the polymer is formed from two or more different monomers, it is called a copolymer. Here the example, shown by these different shapes. One triangle, one rectangle, again two triangles, one rectangle. It means two monomers are in the chain. Two monomers are joined in a different pattern in the chain. So more than one monomer is in the chain, then it is known as copolymer. And third one is grafted polymer. If side chains like this, if side chains, side groups are or branches are grafted onto a polymer. This is a polymer, which is a copolymer, and then side chains are shown. So if the side chains or branches are grafted onto a polymer, it is called grafted polymer. So three categories: polymer, copolymer, and grafted polymer. So which type of polymer is found in the fiber? Either it is a polymer or copolymer or grafted polymer. It will affect the properties of textile fibers. That is also very important to know about the fiber, the polymer structure of the fiber. It is polymers are there, or copolymer is there, or grafted polymers are there, or what is the proportion of these that will affect different properties of the fibers, that we will study in the coming topics. The polymer system, the development of man-made fibers occurred when it was realized that natural fibers consisted of polymers held together by various links or bonds or forces. Means when the scientists came to know that natural fibers are formed by polymers held together by various links. So when they came to know that there are polymers and they are held together by various links, then the idea came about the production of man-made fibers. And the first step was development of regenerated fibers. So next, the first step was development of regenerated fibers, means taking the polymer from the nature and just converting it into filament or fiber form. Then next step was to produce chemicals which had the ability to form links giving rise to polymer, means that is for synthetic fibers. The chemicals which have this ability can be broadly divided into two categories according to the process of polymerization. One is those which join with each other to form a polymer with the loss of small compounds such as water or hydrochloric acid. Means if some small compound is liberated during the polymerization process, that process is termed as condensation polymerization. There are two types of polymerization. One is condensation, in which monomers are joined with each other and forming a polymer, but liberating or removing one small compound such as water or HCl, then it becomes, it is known as condensation polymerization. And the fibers which are formed by condensation polymerization, popular examples are polyester, PET for polyester, and nylon. Nylon and polyester are formed by condensation polymerization. Means the polymer of nylon and polyester is formed by condensation polymerization. And second one is those which polymerizes with themselves without any small molecule being removed during polymerization. Means just by adding the monomers, nothing is removed. Then this process or this type of polymerization is called addition polymerization. And the fibers, examples of fibers: acrylic, polyethylene, polypropylene, polyvinyl alcohol, all these synthetic fibers are produced by the process of addition polymerization. So two types of polymerization: condensation and addition polymerization. I think that this portion you have already studied in the previous classes. Only few chemicals have been used in the production of synthetic fibers. Why? What properties are required? Means all the chemicals cannot be converted into synthetic fibers. All the polymers or all the chemicals cannot be converted into synthetic fibers. Why? क्यों नहीं कर सकते हम? कौन कौन सी प्रॉपर्टीज होनी चाहिए उस पॉलीमर के अंदर जिससे कि हम उसको सिंथेटिक फाइबर में कन्वर्ट कर सकें? So we will study in detail about those requirements or properties required in the polymer to be converted into synthetic fibers. And these requirements are total 6 requirements are there. Means these 6 properties should be possessed by polymers or chemicals to be converted into filament or fiber. If the polymers are not possessing any one property from these properties, then it cannot be converted into textile fiber or filament. First property is hydrophilic. They should be hydrophilic in nature. Polymers should be hydrophilic in nature. They should be enough chemically resistant. They should possess linearity. The polymer should be linear and they should be long enough. They should be well oriented and they should be able to form high melting point polymer system. We will take details of this into the next slides. The polymer system of commonly used apparel fibers like cotton, wool, silk, flax, viscose, acetate, nylon, polyester, and acrylic. These are the most widely used fibers in textile industry. Consist of polymers which do meet the above requirements to a very large extent. So हमने 6 requirement लिए हैं polymer के लिए. इन fibers के polymer उन requirements को fulfill करते हैं, इसलिए ये fibers textile में बहुत ज़्यादा popular हैं. These are most widely used fibers in the textile industry or for textile materials. On the other hand, man-made fibers such as polyethylene, polypropylene, and chlorofibers are restricted in their apparel use because they do not satisfactorily meet the first property, fifth property, and sixth property as listed in the previous slide. Natural cellulosic fibers such as coir, hemp, rami, jute, kenaf, and sisal have very restricted apparel uses. Means they cannot be used for clothing purposes because they are very stiff. They are not flexible, and that's why they cannot be used for apparel purposes because their polymers are far too well oriented, due to which they are very stiff. Cashmere and mohair are relatively rare, means found rare. Their production is in a very small quantity, so they are expensive and rarely used. Now the properties. Requirements of fiber forming polymers. First requirement, as we have taken in the previous slide, hydrophilic property. They should be hydrophilic in nature. This means that, what is the meaning of hydrophilic? This means that the polymers should be polar. If the polymers are polar in nature, means having hydroxyl groups as the end groups, some polar groups are there, then these polar groups attract water molecules, so enabling them to attract water molecules. And if the water molecules are attracted by a polymer, it means water molecules are attracted, or water is absorbed, or moisture is absorbed by that fiber. So moisture absorption property will increase if the polymers are hydrophilic in nature. Hydrophilic means attraction towards hydro. Hydro means water. So they have attraction towards water molecules. And for that, the polymer should be polar in nature. So if they are hydrophilic, if they are possessing hydrophilic properties, they are comfortable to wear, can be used for apparel purposes, and static electricity is discharged to the surrounding atmosphere. Through this hydro, the static generation of static electricity or static charges will be, these static charges will be discharged to the surrounding atmosphere, and the chances of higher fire hazard will be minimum. Second property is chemically resistant. The polymer should be chemically resistant for a reasonable length of time against the common degrading agents such as sunlight and weather, because we expose the textile materials frequently to the sunlight and weather, and that's why they should be chemically resistant to sunlight as well as weather conditions. Common types of soiling, whatever the types of soiling they are coming in contact, they should be chemically resistant. Body exudations means whatever the chemicals exuded by body, like in the form of perspiration, it should be resistant to that also. Laundry liquids, in laundry we are using various type of soaps or liquid soaps, so it should be also resistant to that. And dry cleaning solvents, some of the textile materials are frequently dry cleaned, and that's why they should be also chemically resistant to dry cleaning solvents. So these two properties are very important. Another one is linearity. Fiber polymer should be linear, means minimum branching or no branching. Like grafted polymers will be avoided. So if grafting is there, branching will be there. If branching is there, then the polymer will not be linear. Polymer alignment, because this Linearity allows adequate polymer alignment to bring into effect sufficient interpolymer forces of attraction. If the polymers are linear, it will bring into effect sufficient interpolymer forces of attraction. Means different type of bonds will created there, and to give it will provide cohesive polymer system and hence useful textile fiber. It will give spinability to the fiber. More the linear means more chances of interpolymer forces of attraction to be created, and more interpolymer forces of attraction are there between the polymers. It will give a cohesive polymer system. More the cohesive polymer system, it will be a better textile fiber or a useful textile fiber. Next property required, that is length. Fiber polymer should be long enough, and that is more than 100 nanometer. This is the minimum length required for a polymer to be converted into fiber. So this becomes a very important property so that they can readily be oriented. If the fibers are having a minimum length, then only they can be oriented. And we can conclude in general sense, we can say longer the polymers, more cohesive the polymer system. And more cohesive the polymer system, stronger is the fiber. So to get a stronger fiber and to stronger yarn and stronger fabric, we require a minimum length of fiber. Higher the length, longer the length of the polymers, stronger will be the fibers. The fifth property, the fifth requirement of fiber forming polymer is orientation. Orientation means polymers can be arranged or aligned into more or less parallel order in the direction of the longitudinal axis of the fiber or filament. मीन्स हम पॉलीमर्स को जो फाइबर की डायरेक्शन है, फाइबर की जो लेंथ है, जो लॉन्गिट्यूडनल एक्सिस है, उसके पैरेलल अगर हम उसको अलाइन कर सकें, उसकी लाइन में हम उसको अरेंज कर सकें, it means it will be more oriented. That term is known as orientation. And this particularly for man-made fibers, it can be induced by means of drawing process. The drawing process is used in man-made fibers to make the polymers more oriented. And depending on this orientation, different forms or different regions are created in the fiber. And that is very important topic as far as fiber properties are concerned. Amorphous regions and crystalline regions. Depending on forms of orientation, depending on orientation, degree of orientation, amorphous regions and crystalline regions are created in the fiber. In amorphous region, the polymers are arranged or aligned at random, that is, display no particular order of arrangement. If the polymers are arranged randomly, means there is no particular order of arrangement, there is no systematic arrangement of the polymers within the fiber, then that type of regions are known as amorphous regions. And in crystalline region, the polymers are arranged or aligned longitudinally into more or less parallel orders. In crystalline regions, polymers are arranged or aligned longitudinally into more or less parallel order, means more oriented system. So more the crystalline regions are found in the fiber, it will be more oriented. More the amorphous regions are found in the fiber, then we can say it is less oriented. So we require, for strength, we require more crystalline regions, but for some other properties, we require amorphous regions also. So fiber is a combination of these. The polymer system of fiber consists these two types of regions, and that is the requirement for a textile fiber. What is the effect? If the random orientation is there, means more amorphous regions are there, or if more or less parallel orientation is there, then the what will be the effects? The polymers are, if the random orientation is there, it means polymers are further apart. रैंडम अरेंजमेंट है तो पॉलीमर्स अगर अलाइन नहीं है तो वहां पर पॉलीमर्स के बीच में गैप ज्यादा होगा, और अगर मोर और लेस पैरेलल ओरिएंटेशन है, मींस पॉलीमर्स पैरेलल हैं और लेंथ के पैरेलल फाइबर लेंथ के साथ पैरेलल हैं, तो वहां पर क्लोजर होंगे, पॉलीमर्स आर ऑफन क्लोजर. सो पॉलीमर्स के बीच में गैप ज्यादा होगा अगर अमोर्फस रीजन्स ज्यादा है तो, और क्रिस्टलाइन रीजन है तो इनके बीच में गैप कम होगा, पॉलीमर्स विल बी क्लोजर विथ ईच अदर. So I think now we have only 5 minutes. So I will just cover this slide, and the remaining slide we will take in the next lecture. And those who have not done the P in the chat box, please make P. आप chat box में जाके अपना P लगा दें और जिन स्टूडेंट्स को रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी दे रखी है स्क्रीनशॉट के लिए, वो भी स्क्रीनशॉट्स लेके मुझे क्लास के बाद भेज दें. Yes. So random orientation mean amorphous regions. So polymers are further apart. And the further polymers are further apart. What will be the result? Hence, formation of interpolymer forces of attraction will be less effective. Polymers के बीच में gap ज़्यादा है, तो chances of interpolymer forces of attraction will be less effective. मतलब interpolymer forces कम बनेंगे. Permits easier entry of water and dye molecules as well as molecules of degrading agents. अगर amorphous system है, फाइबर्स पॉलीमर्स के बीच में गैप ज्यादा है, तो वाटर की एंट्री भी इजी होगी, साइमल्टेनियसली डिग्रेडिंग एजेंट्स भी इजीली एंटर करेंगे इस तरह के ओरिएंटेशन, इस तरह के पॉलीमर सिस्टम में. एंड अलाउज द पॉलीमर्स टू बी मोर रेडिली डिस्प्लेस्ड व्हेन द फाइबर इज सब्जेक्टेड टू स्ट्रेसेस एंड स्ट्रेन्स ड्यूरिंग देयर यूज. वीविंग के टाइम पर और उसके बाद में भी प्रोसेसिंग के टाइम पर जब भी हम स्ट्रेस और स्ट्रेन लगाएंगे टेक्सटाइल मटेरियल्स पर, तो polymers will readily allow displacement. So these three will be the result if amorphous system is there. And if crystalline system is there, formation of interpolymer force of attraction will be more effective because the polymers are more closer with each other. Polymers के बीच में gap ज़्यादा है, तो bonds formation ज़्यादा होगा, interpolymer forces of attraction ज़्यादा बनेंगे. It restricts easier entry. अगर gap नहीं है, तो वाटर की एंट्री भी और डिग्रेडिंग एजेंट्स की एंट्री को भी रेस्ट्रिक्ट करेगा. एंड इट डजंट अलाउ द पॉलीमर्स टू बी मोर रेडिली डिस्प्लेस्ड. पॉलीमर बहुत जल्दी डिस्प्लेस नहीं होंगे अपनी जगह से इफ वी अप्लाई स्ट्रेस एंड स्ट्रेन ड्यूरिंग देयर यूज. तो दे हैव some particular effects. This random arrangement means amorphous polymer system, and this more oriented system means crystalline regions. So what is the ratio of amorphous and crystalline region found in the fiber that will decide their properties? If more the amorphous region, these will be the effects. If more crystalline regions are there, this will be the effect. Till we have 2 minutes, so we will move on the next slide. These are the final results on the fiber properties. If amorphous system is there, the fibers will be more absorbent क्योंकि water molecule easily enter हो जाएगा बीच में gap होने से. बट ये वीकर होगा, इसकी स्ट्रेंथ कम होगी क्योंकि बॉन्ड्स फॉर्मेशन कम हो रहा है. इंटरपॉलीमर फोर्स ऑफ अट्रैक्शन विल बी लेस, सो द फाइबर विल बी वीकर. एंड अगर ये वीकर है तो द टेक्सटाइल मटेरियल विल बी लेस ड्यूरेबल, मोर इजीली डिग्रेडेड बाय केमिकल्स, क्योंकि डिग्रेडिंग एजेंट्स इजीली एंटर करेंगे तो उसको डिग्रेड कर देंगे इस टेक्सटाइल मटेरियल को. मोर इजीली डाइड, डाई पार्टिकल्स कैन बी इजीली एंटर इनटू द पॉलीमर सिस्टम, सो डाइंग इज इजी. मोर प्लायबल, सॉफ्टर हैंडल, फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी ज़्यादा होगी और इसकी जो फील होगी वो सॉफ्ट होगी. एंड मोर इजीली डिस्टॉर्टेड मीन्स प्लास्टिक, ज़्यादा इजीली डिस्टॉर्ट हो जाएगा टेक्सटाइल मटेरियल अगर अमोर्फस रीजन्स ज़्यादा हैं तो. और अगर फाइबर के अंदर क्रिस्टलाइन रीजन्स ज़्यादा है मीन्स ओरिएंटेशन इज बेटर, देन इट विल बी लेस एब्जॉर्बेंट क्योंकि गैप कम होगा तो वाटर मॉलिक्यूल्स एब्जॉर्ब नहीं करेगा. स्ट्रॉन्गर होगा बिकॉज इंटरपॉलीमर फोर्स ऑफ अट्रैक्शन विल बी हाई. मोर ड्यूरेबल होगा, less degraded by chemicals. Degrading agents will not get entry easily. Restricted entry is there, so it will be less degraded by chemicals. Less dyed. Dyeing is not very easy for such fibers. More the crystalline fibers, dyeing will be very difficult for that. Less pliable and stiffer handle. जो handle होगा उसका stiff होगा, it will not be soft and flexibility भी कम होगी. जैसा कि jute fiber में होता है. Jute fiber is a very crystalline fiber. And resist being distorted, less plastic. Distortion बहुत easily नहीं होगा. जब भी हम stress और strain अगर इस पे apply करेंगे तो distortion कम होगा. This is all about these slides. We have left one more slide from this topic, so we will cover that into the next lecture because now we are going to finish this lecture. We have only less than 1 minute, means few seconds are there. Thank you so much, students, for your cooperation and for keeping silence throughout the lecture. And I will share the slides time to time. So go through the slides and prepare the material. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. If you have any question, you can ask me on WhatsApp also. You can send me my own personal WhatsApp. Whenever I will get the time, I will reply you. So